Welcome back. So let's talk about the main arpeggio from Stranger Things. So I've got an initialized patch here on the OB-6. Just, sawtooth with no filter. Okay, so we're going to set up the arpeggio first. I thought I'd show how to do that here on the OB-6. One thing I do want to talk about is globals. If you don't have a clock here, which can happen, you go into the first global, the red one, go to MIDI clock here, and this should say out. If it doesn't, you need to change this so it's saying whatever. I mean, it can be either off or out. It cannot be in, because you see that disables the clock inside here. So I'm going to set it to out because I have another video for someone later this week. So let's set up our arpeggio. All right, it's about 84. That was some seriously good tab tempoing. I hope everybody's impressed. I'm going to turn on the arpeggiator and hold down the C major 7 chord. Okay, so that's the heart of this, is just that arpeggio, but obviously it doesn't sound like that. So we are going to go for a pulse wave. So set your oscillators to square. Here's our pulse width. I'm just going to find like the sound. That's pretty good. So that is the sort of main sound. It's filtered a little bit, so let's get our filter right. Okay, that's in the right direction. We need to fix the envelopes here. So fast attack, I'm going to turn the sustain off. Release isn't necessarily going to matter here, although it kind of will a little bit, as you'll see. This should get us pretty close. It needs a little bit more decay. Yeah, there we go. So, again, we're taking advantage of this SEM filter. So I'm going to assign the filter envelope to it. I'm pretty much going to match the amplitude envelope. And then this is the magic here. How much of this do we assign? How much envelope do we give it? Pretty good. This to be a little lower, maybe with some resonance. That's pretty good. Now, the way the track works is there's several layers to this. So that's kind of the default layer, I guess I want to call it. So it's just a pulse width, pulse wave that's sort of like, not moving that much. Then we have an octave down. So we're going to bring in VCO2 and let's see, maybe like a kind of a triangle. Okay, so that's unison. We want to go down. So you can see here, we want my note to say C1. Please go there. There we go. So there's our octave down. Good. So then this is like, adjust to taste, right? The decay makes it a little more legato. Can fade in and out, VCO2. And bring it back in. And we've pretty much got the track. The only thing I could think maybe to make it closer, because, these oscillators are brighter than the original Oberheim. So maybe soften up the attack a little. Yeah, that feels better to me. So I just raise the attack a psychological amount, not an actual amount, just like a tiny bit. And then kind of took that pingy front end off of it. So that's it. And then, do as you will, right? Resonance has a big impact on this, obviously. But to stay true, it's like minimal resonance, and then filters how we decide. So you see, the through that track, they're kind of like moving the filter, they're moving VCO, the second oscillator, in and out. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you learned something. I think what I take away from this, sort of less like I'm doing a cover band thing, more like a specific, what I learned is, tuning oscillators away from each other. The pulse width with the triangle bass is really good, because it kind of has that thick sound, but it's really subtle. So I think that's what I'm taking away from this. Also, take away how to set up the MIDI out and the MIDI clock in the OB-6, because that's very important to know. Just in terms of if you're going to drive a rack with this, or you're going to take in a tempo from a DAW, you need to go in and set that MIDI clock to in, and leave a comment and ask a question if you need to know anything. Take care.